You are probably getting to watch this video because you have someone in your life who's attended one of our personal mastery courses and has had a radical impact in their life. They've had a revelation they're excited about, they're creating big results, and they wanted to give you an opportunity to find out what a personal mastery is so that you can make an informed choice about whether or not you'd like to attend. So the purpose of this video is for you to get enough information to make an informed choice about whether or not you would like to personally attend a personal mastery course with us. Personal Mastery is a 2.5-day training, and we do about an average of 5 personal mastery courses a month all around the world, mostly in the United States and Canada right now. And your friend is encouraging you, because maybe there's even one coming to your area, that they would like for you to be able to attend. People attend our personal mastery courses really because they want to make something happen. And that's what Personal Mastery does. It's designed to create a large amount of change in a short period of time. It's designed to create a large amount of change in a short period of time, producing whatever kind of result it is you want to see in your life. We call that make it happen, results-oriented, producer-type person, a compassionate samurai. A compassionate samurai is not just results-focused, but also, like it says, compassionate. Sometimes it's easy to get out of balance. Have you ever found yourself getting out of balance? Maybe you're a make it happen kind of person, and in making it happen, you leave some carnage in your wake. And then there's other types of people that are all about compassion, have just a heart of service and contribution, care deeply about people and about the planet, except for they can't get things done. Compassionate samurai is the idea that it can be both make it happen people that are all about service and contribution. So on this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one piece out of our weekend training, and we are going to really take that piece, dive into it so that you create value right here in this video on how to solve a problem when you have no idea what to do. That way you'll get a taste, it won't be the whole thing, you'll get a taste of the kind of value that you can expect to get out of a weekend training with us. The best thing to do is have something in mind that you want to create in your life. And that can really be anything. What do you want different than you have right now? Now, I request that it not be something that's unrealistic, meaning make it something that's achievable for you. For instance, don't tell us that you're committed to landing on the moon in the next 90 days if you're not currently in astronaut training. Basically, you want to set yourself up to win in whatever this goal or outcome is that you're looking to achieve. And that thing could be anything for you. It's just, what do you want to create? And we ask that it's something bigger than you currently know what to do. That way, when you accomplish it coming out of watching this video, you'll know that it was worth your hour investment or however long you chose to watch this video. 2 takeaways that you can expect to gain out of this video today. The first is, how do you solve a problem when you have no idea what to do? And you might have come up with something that you are looking to create, like maybe that is creating more finance in your business. Maybe that's creating a more extraordinary marriage than you currently have right now. Maybe that's releasing 20 pounds. One thing you're gonna leave this video with is, how do you solve a problem when you have no idea what to do? The second takeaway that you're gonna leave this video with is, how do you create a large amount of change in a short period of time? Those are the 2 things that you can expect to take out of this video, something that you can apply and use to create big results in your life. Maybe you can even relate to this. Sometimes people won't even want something bigger than what they know they can create. Because when you can't create it, or you feel like you can't create it, it hurts. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been there. I have. I've wanted a wildly romantic, long-lasting relationship. And before I met my husband, I wanted that, and I didn't feel like I could create it, and it hurts. Or wanting to produce a certain result in your business and not feeling like you can create it, it hurts. So some people, in order to avoid that hurt, they avoid even dreaming that big or wanting that big. I'm just gonna encourage, that's a chicken's way out. You don't want to back off of something that you want in life. You just get to figure out how to create the change in your world so that you can create what it is you want that's big. Allow yourself to dream bigger than what you know how to create right now. That's going to create big value out of this video for you. In fact, in some of our trainings, we ask this question. How many of you would say dogs like bones? And most of you watching this video would probably raise your hand and say, yeah, dogs like bones. I'm going to suggest dogs don't like bones. What dogs actually like is steak. Exactly, it's steak. But what happens is the dogs begin to settle for the bones instead of going after steak in life. I believe people begin to settle for what they're given in life instead of going after the steak in their life or what they know is possible. It's not that dogs dislike bones, it's just that they settle for bones instead of going after steak. Some people are like, no, I don't believe you, Crystal. Not my dog. My dog loves bones. And this is not a hard experiment. I mean, get a bowl full of bones and a bowl full of steak and call your dog. Which bowl are they going to go to first? The steak. Where are they going to go a week later? Where are they going to go first? Steak. 10 years later, when the dog doesn't have any teeth, which bowl are they going to first? Steak. So why do we say dogs like bones? Well, it's because they settle for the bones instead of going after the steak. And I think that this happens for people. People are in a good marriage, and they start to think that a good marriage is all that's available. When in fact, your marriage could be extraordinary. It could be more romantic than you could have ever dreamed. It could be exciting. It could be passionate. They start to think, I have an average business, and they begin to settle for what an average business can look like instead of going after their dream business, their dream client, their dream income. You want to revisit what's the dream for you? What do you want that's outside of what you feel like you're currently creating? Sometimes people ask me, Crystal, why should I go do a leadership development course or a character development course or personal development? I'm fine. And the truth is, you are fine. There's nothing wrong with you. There is nothing broken about you, even if you think there is. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you're asking the wrong question. The question really is, what am I settling for? What am I settling for that's average that could be spectacular? That's where the magic happens. So the question is, what are you settling for? Maybe that's a good marriage and you've been in this good marriage or this good relationship for a really long time and you've started to settle for a good relationship instead of pursuing a spectacular one. Or maybe you have a good income, it's an average income, and you've begun to settle for a good income instead of going for a spectacular one. And that's really what this weekend seminar is going to be designed to do. It's taking you from good or average or whatever you currently have right now and making it better, faster, with less effort. Would you be willing to do that? Would you be open to that? And that kind of person that makes that kind of change happen is the kind of person we call a compassionate samurai. And what's the problem between what you have right now and where you say you want to be? Because we're assuming at this point in the video that you now have something that you care about enough that would be a reason for you to want to attend the training. So that kind of person is a compassionate samurai. You now know you have something you want, then what's the problem? What's in between you and having that life you say you want? Well, I'm going to suggest the problem isn't motivation. And I'm not knocking motivation. Motivation's great. It's just there's a problem with motivation. It's that motivation in and of itself isn't enough to create exponential, long-lasting change. Motivation's great. It gets you excited. It gets you amped up. And it doesn't necessarily last for a long period of time. Like if you leave a motivational training and you're amped up, you're excited, and you have your tire blowout on the freeway on your way home, you're not so excited anymore, right? Motivation needs to be repeated in order to stay motivated. So I don't think the problem is motivation. I also think the problem isn't a how-to. As a company, our founder actually wrote a book called If How-Tos Were Enough, We'd All Be Skinny, Rich, and Happy. Isn't that a great title? And I don't think the problem is how-tos. I think there are plenty of books on the planet designed to tell you exactly how to do something, how to create more money, how to create better relationships, how to have better health. It's just that what what we've found is that most people don't do what they're told. Most people, maybe you have different people in your life than I do, most people don't do what they're told or what they know to do. And why not? That's what we're going to explore next, because I don't think the problem is how-to. If how-tos were enough, you could just find out how the most successful salesperson in your company created that success, do exactly the same thing, and you'd have the same success. You just ask the most successful person you know in relationship how they created the most successful relationship. Just do the same thing, and you'd have that successful relationship. But I don't think that's how that works. The only way we know as an organization to create large amount of change, I'm talking exponential change, in a short period of time that lasts a long time, is to have an experience. Because when you have an experience, it actually shifts the way that you behave from that point moving forward. And I want to give you a number. You can write it down if you want to. You may or may not agree with me. And I'm going to ask you to write it down anyways. And that's 99%. We're going to suggest that 99% of the decisions you think you're making, you're not making. 99% of the time, you are completely out of control. Now, people don't like that message because they're going, hey, then who chose to watch this video? I'm going to suggest you didn't choose to watch this video. Well, who chose to have the career I chose? I'm going to suggest you didn't choose that either. And you can just ask yourself, then, if you didn't choose it, what did? I'm suggesting that if you're in sales, you're not deciding how often you prospect and how you prospect. Something else is making those decisions for you. And don't get caught up on the number. I'm saying 99%, but what if it was even 75% or 50%? 50% of the time, you're out of control. So we're suggesting 99% of the decisions you think you're making, you're not making. But I have a interesting visual for you to really drive this point home. So I want you to imagine that I was born wearing this set of sunglasses. I've been wearing them my whole life long. In fact, since I was born, I don't even know they exist. I eat in them, I sleep in them, I play sports in them. I've been wearing them my whole life long. I don't even know they exist. If that were true, and let's say I had a piece of paper in my hand, like a regular piece of printer paper that you use to write on, what color would I say that piece of paper is? I would say it was green. And let's say that you care about me and you're knowledgeable, you know a lot about paper products, and you choose to help me out. And you come to me and you say, hey, Crystal, that piece of paper you're writing on, that's actually white. What would I say? Any fool can see that this paper is green. In fact, you might even insist that it's white. And I would say, no, it is green. Just because you insist that it's white, does that mean I can see it as white? No. Maybe you try to motivate me and you say something like, Crystal, it's white. Just because you try to motivate me, does that mean that I can see that piece of paper as white? No, it's green. In fact, even if I wanted to see it as white, I couldn't. I would only be able to see it as green. Right now, it's hopeless. What would get to happen in order for me to be able to see this piece of paper as white? Well, I would get to discover that there is such a thing called sunglasses and go on a hunt for my own, and then I could take them off. And in an instant, I am able to see white where I could never see white before. This is why we're saying you can have quantum leaps of change in a short period of time. It's by having a revelation. It's piercing the veil. It's being able to see solutions where you could never see solutions before. And you've got quite literally thousands of sets of sunglasses, over 1,000 sets of sunglasses on things like honesty, trust, commitment, responsibility. I mean, we do an entire piece in our personal mastery training all on responsibility. A lot of the times people get caught up that responsibility is the same thing as fault. And because they think responsibility is the same thing as fault, they won't take responsibility because they don't want to be seen as wrong or at fault for something. We spend multiple hours in our training just on that set of sunglasses alone. So when you begin to discover the sets of sunglasses or the belief systems that you have, you begin to have quantum leaps of change in a very short period of time. And the very interesting thing is that you can have sets of sunglasses that worked for you in some areas of your life or to get you to a certain point that don't work for you now. For instance, I had sets of sunglasses that work really well for me as a business owner with my co-owner, Kimberly Zink, and those same sunglasses don't work so well in my relationship with my husband. I have sets of sunglasses that were great when I was training to facilitate work like this, and not the same sunglasses that work for me when trying to train other people in doing this work. So you're getting to be in this constant place of discovery around what sunglasses you have and whether or not they're working for you in the current trajectory that you're in, what you're currently going after, what you're currently looking to create. And that's what personal mastery is. It's a fun, safe environment where you get to discover your programs, your belief systems on all sorts of different topics so that you can have large change in your life in a short period of time. And that's what your friend's suggesting you do. They're suggesting that you spend 2.5 days with us at a personal mastery course, discovering your sunglasses in a safe, fun environment designed for that level of discovery. And that's what your friend's suggesting you do. You spend 2.5 days with us discovering your sunglasses in a safe, fun environment. The sunglasses that are working for you and the sunglasses that aren't working for you. And today in this video, we're specifically gonna discover and work on a set of sunglasses that's all about solving problems. On this video, we're gonna work on a particular set of sunglasses that's all about solving problems. How to solve a problem when you have no idea what to do. In fact, we call this set of sunglasses or this formula, the formula of champions or the $1 million formula. And that might sound like a cliche, and with no exaggeration, I know of multiple people who have created over $1 million using this one formula alone. I personally wrote a book in under 6 months using this formula, a best-selling book on Amazon. My company, or our company, Clemmer Seminars, used this formula in order to create the finance to buy a ranch right after a global pandemic. Our company had also thrived live events company thrived coming out of a global pandemic when you couldn't do live events. I'm telling you, I wouldn't take any amount of money, no amount of money, to trade back the experience that I've had and the knowledge I have around this formula. It's that powerful when implemented in your life. If you have a pen and a piece of paper, I'm gonna ask you to write this down. Intention plus mechanism equals results. Intention plus mechanism equals results. Now, you're probably reading that formula and you're not too wowed in this moment. It doesn't sound that exciting. And let me tell you, you getting that formula on paper, you probably couldn't, with just that information, create $1 million out of that formula. There's gonna be something that needs to happen in order for you to be able to, even though it can do that, you're gonna need to have an experience around that formula in order for it to actually create that level of results in your life, or those level of results in your life. And here's a bit why. I want you to imagine a snowman. And in the snowman, you've got a smaller circle on top, a larger circle in the middle, and then a large circle on the bottom that it's all resting on top of. And as you imagine that picture, you can label it 1, 2, and 3. Some people call it the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the infinite. I personally call it the head, the heart, and God, whatever you choose to call it. Now, here's the thing. When you get a formula like I just gave you, most of the time that information goes to your conscious mind, where reason and logic lives, and it doesn't necessarily permeate your heart. And maybe you've heard this saying, as a man or woman thinketh in their heart, so are they. That means it doesn't matter what you think in your head, it matters what you believe in your heart. You can think in your head, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. And if you have poverty of the brainstem, your bank account is never gonna change. So it's what you think in your heart that actually dictates your results. If you have a scarcity belief system, meaning you think there aren't enough good people out there, if you think there isn't enough money available, if you think in your heart that there isn't enough or that you're not enough, you'll never generate the kind of results you say you want in your life. Because if you have a belief system of scarcity, even if you have the willpower to take the action, the subconscious belief system is gonna override it. So let's say you're prospecting and you step into willpower, which is a conscious mind technique, and you actually go out and you prospect with a great how-to. Your subconscious will actually put a baggy tone to your voice, and it'll kill the opportunity of the prospecting that you're already doing. The subconscious is more powerful. Your heart is much more powerful than your head. So this is why it's essential, if you want to create exponential change, you can't just work on the head, you got to change the heart. Which is why if I give you $1 million formula like I just did, and it only enters your conscious mind, you don't have an experience of it, you won't have the same exponential change. This is why we're enthusiastic, to say the least, about live experiential trainings, because that experience is what takes things from your head to your heart. You can read a lot of great self-development books, you can read a lot of great leadership books, and until you change the belief system that you have in your heart, you're not going to see the same level of change that you will when you do a live experiential training with us. Now, on a video like this, I can't exactly give you an out-of-your-chair experiential exercise. And what I can do is walk you through a piece, use a bit of visualization to give you a taste of a slice of what you'd experience in an experiential training with us. Hopefully that gives you enough information to allow you to make an informed choice around whether or not you want to attend, and provide enough value for you to start solving problems when you have no idea what to do. Because when you start to really solve problems like that, life is exciting. It's exhilarating when you start to see results like that start to happen in your life. Whether that's buying a house when you have no down payment, or that's creating the job of your dreams, finding your dream partner for the rest of your life, whatever that is, when you start to begin to create those kind of results, exponential results on top of what you're already creating, life's exciting. So we're gonna dive into this formula, intention plus mechanism equals results. And one of the first things that we're gonna do, and I'm gonna ask you to participate in, is to define each of those terms. It's not that Klemmer's definitions are the end-all, be-all definitions. It's just that we've found it's easier when we've got a common definition to find a jumping off point to communicate to create maximum value. So if we were in a live training room and I was to ask you, what's your definition of intention? Sometimes I hear people say, oh, it's a dream. Oh, it's a goal. Oh, it's a purpose. And generally my response is, it's even more than that. For us, our definition at Klemmer of intention is your deepest, most passionate commitment. Your deepest, most passionate commitment. Now, that's different than just a wish, want, and a hope. Do you see that there's a different level? That's the thing you will not ever quit on. It is that thing you will go over, under, left, sidearm, whatever it takes in order to create it. It's the thing you will never, ever, 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 ever quit on. That's your deepest, most passionate commitment. That's your intention. It's a different level. Now, that's your intention. How do we define mechanism? It's your vehicle or your how-to. It's how you're gonna get there. And the last word we'll define is your results. And your results at the end of the day are what you get. At the end of, let's say 90 days, what do you accomplish? Those are your results. So now that we've defined those three terms, I want you to imagine with me that we're in a room of, let's say, 100 people, and we're hearing different goals from people. People want to prospect 100 new clients in 90 days. People want to buy a house when they have no money to put down. People want to release 20 pounds in the next 90 days. So these are some of the different goals that you hear people talking about. Now let's imagine that we take one gentleman, let's say his name's John, and his 90-day goal is to release 20 pounds in 90 days. So let's say John is committed to releasing 20 pounds in the next 90 days. And by the way, there was an older version of this same type of video, this same content. And I actually did have someone report back that she watched the video, and without even going to the class yet, she actually released 30 pounds in 90 days, which was her goal out of watching this video. So the results are absolutely possible when you actually implement the formula. So back to John. John's committed to releasing 20 pounds in the next 90 days. And he comes up, he volunteers to go first. And let's just say we're in this room of 100 people. John's going first. And he says that he's going to release 20 pounds in 90 days. I tell him, here's the objective of the game. You're going to start right here next to me. You're going to walk down to that wall. You're going to touch the wall. And then you're going to turn around and you're going to come back. Very important point, that when you walk across this imaginary line right here, that's going to symbolize, that's going to represent you actually achieving your goal of releasing 20 pounds in 90 days. So the objective's all set up, we're ready to roll, and John starts to move across the room. He walks across the room, he touches the other side of the wall, and I ask him, hey John, please wait here for a second. And he does, he stops and he turns around and he faces the crowd. And we begin to have a discussion. And I ask imagine this in your mind, I ask the crowd, what's John's mechanism that he used to get across the room? And just like you're probably doing, they would answer, he walked. And yeah, that's pretty obvious. The mechanism John used to get across the room was he walked. And then I would ask, what's John's intention? And I want you to think about that now. You watching this video, what would your answer be? And the crowd sometimes answers, well, his intention is to cross the line. And I say, really? And I ask, well, why do you think that? Because that's what you told him to do. So just because you tell your kids to do their homework, that means it's their intention to do their homework? No, not my kids. Well, so you can't say that. Then that's not his intention. And I want you to catch this. You can't tell someone's intention based on what somebody else told them to do. Well, it doesn't work that way. Here's another point to that. You can't even tell someone's intention based on what they tell you their intention is. That one's kind of mind-altering for people. Just because John told me his intention was to release 20 pounds, I don't necessarily know that. I mean, how many times have you had people tell you it was their intention to come to an event that you asked them to come to, and then they didn't show up? And then you would know that it wasn't their intention to be there. Why not? Because they weren't there. So you can't tell someone's intention based on what somebody else tells them to do, and you can't tell someone's intention based on what they tell you. The only true way to gauge someone's intention is based on their results. We're suggesting that the only true way to gauge someone's intention is based on result. In fact, you could even take the mechanism out of the equation because your intention equals your results. 100 times out of 100, your intention is going to equal your result. Doesn't mean they're the same thing, and your intention equals your results. Now, continue to follow with me because some of you, your mind is spinning upside down and inside out, and I'm asking you to follow me for a second. If that was the real formula, intention equals results, imagine how much you could actually create out of just that one piece. Now, you might not understand that, and you might not even agree with that in this moment, but I'm asking you to just participate with me for a few minutes. Take it as a premise that we can build off of just for right now. And one of the beautiful parts about this training is you don't have to believe us or trust us upfront on anything. Everything we give you, we're going to ask you to test it. See if it works for you, because based on results, then you'll know whether or not it's something that'll change your life or not. Now let's go back to John, who's still on the other side of the room next to the wall. And someone will go, well, it's clearly his intention to cross the line or to lose 20 pounds. And I'll say, there's no way. Go back to the mathematical formula. There's no way it could be his intention to release the 20 pounds. Why? Because if intention equals results and he's not across the line, then you can't say that it's his intention to lose the 20 pounds or to cross the line. Why? Because he hasn't done that yet. It's not in alignment. And the intention equals the result. And some of you, your mind is upside down and inside out right now. And you're going, but wait, and I really want to work with you on getting this piece, because when you get this piece that intention equals results, doors are going to open for you all over your life, whether it's actually having meetings that are productive instead of just busy work, whether it's coaching someone you believe in, whether it's creating a relationship that you don't currently have that you want, whether it's making more money, whatever it is, when you get this intention equals results, doors are going to open all over your life. You're going to see way more possibilities than you currently see right now. And here's another example so that you can have a better visual on it. Let's imagine that my hand right now is a coin, and there's a front side to the coin and a back side to the coin. And if that was true, let's imagine that that somebody asked me for the front of the coin, and I take some instrument and I shave off the front of the coin and I hand it to you. And if I shaved off the front of the coin and I handed it to you, I would still have a front and a back. Now imagine they go, that wasn't the front I was talking about. I was talking about this side of the coin. And now you take that same instrument and you shave off this side of the coin and you hand it to them. You still have a front and a back. This is like intention and mechanism. You cannot have a front without a back. You can never have a front without a back, and you can never have an intention without a result. They are not the same, but they're inseparable. And when you begin to truly internalize this, that you cannot have an intention without a result, you cannot have a result without an intention, they do a dance, you'll begin to see your life and your results completely different than you ever have before. So, for instance, if John is standing at the other side of the room and we have a result in the room that says that he hasn't crossed the line yet. He hasn't lost the 20 pounds yet, but he's saying his intention is to cross the line. We know that's not true because it doesn't match with the result that he's created right now. Well, maybe his intention is to be a good example, and that's why he's still standing still when I asked him to please wait. That would match up with the result we have of him still standing on that side of the room. Maybe his intention is to be polite. That would match with the result that he's creating of still standing on the other side of the room. So now you want to look at anything you say you want and what's the actual result you have that you're currently creating, and then work backwards to what would be the matching intention that's driving that result. When you get this, you're going to leave this video with your hair on fire, excited about what you can create. Because once you get this revelation, you can always work backwards at what's the deeper driver that's actually producing the results that don't match what you say you want in life. This means if you're in a direct sales company and you invite someone to come to your presentation and they say yes, but they don't show up, here's what you know. It wasn't your intention to have them there. Some of you are going, no, Crystal, it was totally my intention to have them there. Not based on results. It might have been your intention to not hear no, which means somebody told you yes when they really meant no, which is why they didn't show up. That's totally different. And you might even tell me, no, Crystal, I really wanted them there. Well, what you want has very little to do with what you actually create in life. I'll say that again. What you want has very little to do with what you actually create in life. Your intention, however, has everything to do with what you create in life because it's your deepest, most passionate commitment. And when you can get clear on your intention, now your results begin to shift in dramatic and incredible ways. And hopefully you're beginning to see the value in this piece because let's say your intention is to have more intimate, fulfilling relationships. And with whoever that is. Maybe that's with a significant other, maybe that's with your child, but you say your intention is to have more intimate, fulfilling relationships, but based on results, that's not your intention. Based on results, maybe your intention is to be in control of the relationship. Based on results, maybe your intention is to be right in the relationship. Maybe your intention is to be comfortable in the relationship. And none of those are creating more intimate, fulfilling relationships. And now you know before you're even mid-conversation or communication, you can course correct. So clarity of intention alone is huge. And hopefully you're starting to see like, hey, I'm getting a taste of what I could actually create when I spend an entire weekend on programs and belief systems like this, and the huge results that I could create as a result of investing in that weekend. So I want you to imagine now, John's walked across the room, and now we turn to the 99 other people in the room, and now their goal is to get across the room not using any of the same mechanisms that have already been used. So John walked across the room. Now that John's walked across the room, walking is now out. And people start moving across the room using different mechanisms. Maybe somebody moonwalks across the room. Somebody runs across the room. Somebody crab walks across the room. And you don't have to do the exercise if you don't want to. We're not that kind of seminar company, but it's hysterical. People are laughing. They're creating their way across the room. And inevitably, somebody's going to get stuck. We want them to get stuck. Not because we want to make it hard on people, but because you're going to get stuck in life. I don't care what you're up against. You want to buy a house when you have no money to put down. You're going to feel like you ran out of ways to solutions to come up with to make it happen. You want to create an extraordinary marriage out of the one that you currently have. You're going to eventually feel like you ran out of ways to make that happen. So somebody gets stuck, and here's the lesson that comes next. Maybe our facilitator in the room potentially goes, hey, if you're stuck, and if you can come up with a new mechanism to get across the room hasn't already been used in the next 30 seconds, and they pull a $100 bill out of their pocket, I'll give you this $100. And if you can't, not a problem. After 30 seconds, I'll just put it back in my pocket. And it doesn't take long. And they come up with a mechanism on the spot that nobody's ever used. Maybe they hop like a bunny, or they do the worm. They do something to get across the room that has not been done. And they come up with a solution, what seems like out of the blue, and it didn't actually come up out of the blue. Here's what happens. It's a scientific formula. When the intention is clear, a mechanism will appear. I'll say that again. When the intention is clear, the mechanism will appear. That $100 just made their intention that much more clear to find a new mechanism to get across the room. So there are so many takeaways from this one piece, and it's a short video, but one of the main takeaways that you want to take is, if this was a mathematical formula, how many ways really are there to get across the room? I'm going to suggest there's an infinite number of ways to get across the room. We could go back and forth over and over and over again all night long, finding new ways to get across the room. If that's really true, and there's an infinite number of mechanisms to use to solve any one problem, then you don't need to worry about it. Most people want to focus on the mechanism. Most people, average people, not you, but average people, when the first one or two ways that they know to solve a problem doesn't work, they quit. That means whatever problem you're looking to solve, there's an infinite number of ways to solve that problem. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's buying a house in this economy. I don't care if it's having a deeper relationship with a child that's rebellious. I don't care what it is. There's an infinite number of ways to solve any one problem. So here's the second thing that you want to take away from this piece. When the intention is clear, a mechanism will appear. Most people go, when they go, well, I don't know how to do something, all they're saying is that their conscious mind doesn't know how to do it. They're not saying that their heart doesn't know how to do it, and they're especially not saying they don't know God doesn't know how to do it. It's just you're saying your conscious mind, so get your conscious mind out of the way. What you want to do is raise your intention so that you get your heart into play, or you get God, or whatever you call infinite, into play in order to begin to solve your problems. This formula is a way to bypass your conscious mind and get directly in alignment with your heart and with God or your infinite. And that's what happened with the $100 bill. All that happened is the $100 bill came out, the conscious mind was bypassed, and the heart came up with a solution like that to get across the room when prior they didn't know how they were going to do it. The third takeaway that you want to leave this video with is that you can have conflicting intentions. And this is really important to have a revelation around, because the bigger intention always wins, which makes sense based on the way that we defined intention in the beginning of the piece. Your intention is your deepest, most passionate commitment, which means the bigger intention will always win. So if you have conflicting intentions, the bigger one will always win. If we go back to our example of John, who his 90-day goal was to release 20 pounds. If that's the case, he could have two intentions. He could have an intention to release 20 pounds, but he could also have an intention to not be disciplined. Well, the deeper or bigger intention is always going to win. Here's the thing, you want to just bypass that whole conversation. And how do you do that? You practice raising your intention, the one that you're truly committed to or that you say you're committed to the point where any conflicting intention is actually irrelevant. And we teach 3 ways to raise intention. I'm going to train you in 2 here on this video that you can take with you and use to raise your intention and create bigger results in your life, the results you say you want. So these are 2 ways to raise your intention, not in order of priority or importance, just 2 ways to raise your intention. The first way is to make a bold declaration or to begin making promises to people. The second way is to put yourself at financial and or emotional risk. And I'll give you some examples of what this can look like. Let's take our fictitious example of John, who's committed to releasing 20 pounds. And let's say he begins to make bold declarations or promises to everyone he knows that he is committed to releasing 20 pounds in 90 days. He begins to tell his family, his children. He tells the people he works with. He tells the people in his neighborhood or his community. He tells the people at his church. He tells everybody what he's committed to creating in the next 90 days. Why does that matter? Well, if you're a person of your word, if you care about keeping your promises, and you begin to promise people you care about what you're going to do, you're committed to doing, it's going to begin to raise your intention. It holds you accountable to the end result. And people will begin to ask you, how's that coming? I heard you were committed to releasing 20 pounds in the next 90 days. And it actually you'll begin to shift what you're doing as a result of the promises you've made. The second way to raise your intention is to put yourself at financial and or emotional risk. Now, this is an incredible tool. Unfortunately, most of you watching this video won't do it. I know it works and it's risky. And because of that, most people are addicted to comfort. No different than you're addicted to drugs. People are addicted to comfort, and they won't implement this tool that we know works because they're more committed to being comfortable than they are to getting what it is they say they want. So if you're finding yourself, I say put yourself at financial and or emotional risk, and you find yourself pumping on the brakes a bit, you might want to check in with yourself on whether or not you're more committed to your comfort or you're more committed to your results. Based on results, often harsh, always fair. So how would that look to put yourself at financial and or emotional risk? Well, let's say John is committed to releasing 20 pounds in the next 90 days, and he finds somebody that's willing to be an accountability partner that's going to hold him to his word. And he says, if I don't release 20 pounds in the next 90 days and I don't show you proof or evidence that I did it, then let's say you or John is somebody who hates cleaning bathrooms. Cleaning toilets just is not your cup of tea. Maybe John says, if I don't prove to you that I release 20 pounds in the next 90 days, I'm committed to going to the local rest stop and cleaning every toilet in the local rest stop if I don't get my goal. Now, some of you are going, yep, there's no way I'm missing my goal now. I'm absolutely going to achieve that thing. There's no way I'm cleaning toilets. And maybe cleaning toilets is not a big deal to you. That doesn't matter to you that much. It wouldn't really get your stomach in a knot. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking to get your stomach in a knot. I'm not saying to do something immoral, unethical, illegal. Don't go there. I'm saying do something that gets your stomach upside down in such a way that your subconscious is engaged in providing you solutions to get where it is you say you want to go. Now, let's say it's not cleaning toilets, not a big deal for you. Okay, then maybe you write a check for $1,000 to a political party you don't agree with. And if you don't get your goal, you mail the check. Now are you more committed to getting your goal than you were before? For most of us, if we have a political party that we don't agree with or we don't align with, we would be getting off our high knees. We'd be in motion towards getting what it is we say we want. Now, when you take those two things and you put them in play, both making promises or bold declarations and putting yourself at financial and or emotional risk, you've actually used a chemical ingredient that activates putting your conscious, your subconscious, and your infinite in alignment like a magnet to provide you solutions to get where it is you want to go. Now, John doesn't even have to think about changing his eating habits. He's going to do it on automatic as a result of what he committed to and what he put in play to hold him accountable. When you begin to really align your head, heart, and God in that way, you will see miraculous solutions come your way that you never thought of before. In fact, you won't even have to think about those solutions. In this example with John, he's probably leaving food on his plate when he used to be part of the Clean Plate Club, because he now has a bigger vision in play. He doesn't have to think about it because all three parts of him are in alignment towards his goal, what he says he wants. In fact, if you really want to put this to work in your life, you want to be honest with you. It doesn't work if you choose something that's not a risk for you. Something can be a risk for somebody else that's not a risk for you at all. So a core portion of designing a risk that's going to work for you and get you in alignment is you being honest with you on what that is. And you're going to see incredible things happen. You want to have fun. Maybe you leverage both making a promise and putting yourself at risk in the same conversation. Maybe John tells his 9-year-old, when I get my goal, I'm going to take you for a one-day trip to a theme park or an amusement park, right? And if I don't, we don't get to go. Now you've done both. You've activated both. You're going to have the best accountability partner on the planet if you told your child that when you got this goal, that they were going to get something as a reward. And there's no way you're going to miss the mark because you gave your child your word and you're going to keep it. So you're only limited by your imagination. And when you begin to put this into play, you're going to see miracles occur. Things are going to come into alignment. You're going to see solutions you never saw because you are activating a bigger part of you than you ever maybe have activated before. You're getting yourself in alignment with what it is you say you want. Getting clear on your intent. Now, this piece that you've gotten on this video is extremely valuable, and it's our hope, our desire that you've created enough value in watching this video that you want to attend a personal mastery training with us, and we do on average 5 of those every single month, all around North America, and sometimes all around the world. And your friend is encouraging you to trust them and come join us for 3 days of experiential training, you getting to discover your sunglasses, your programs, your belief systems that are preventing you from having the results you say you want in life. You can check on our website to see where Personal Mastery is coming that's closest to you. We do have about 5 on average happening every single month all around North America. Klemmer.com/PM stands for Personal Mastery. Will take you right to a site, and that'll tell you where we're having all of our upcoming events and trainings. Now, some of you trust your friend enough that they've given you their word, they've shared their enthusiasm around what they've created, and you're ready to sign up and go to a training, and we're excited for you and what you're going to create in those 2.5, 3 days. Some of you still want more information. You're still looking for more details in order to make an informed decision, and we really want to provide those for you. So Personal Mastery in general is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, we start at 6 p.m. and we'll go until midnight. And Friday, I know midnight might sound late to some of you watching this video, and I'll tell you, you are going to have so much fun. You're going to be laughing so hard. We're going to do this piece on communication styles that literally can quadruple the sales that you make in your life and in your business. And most of the time, the facilitator tells them to leave at midnight, and they stay up chatting in the lobby for the next 30 to 45 minutes because they're just so excited after having revelations that evening that they're not even tired yet and wanting to go to bed. Saturday, we start at 9 a.m. and go until 7 p.m. And Saturday, we have multiple exercises really designed in ownership, responsibility, and we play a game on Saturday night. This one little game, you talk to almost any grad and they'll say that little game that they play on Saturday night has had a profound impact on the way they live their life. In fact, they remember exactly where they were when they played, exactly who they were with, based on that one game, has really elevated the results they've created in every area of their life. Sunday, we start at 9 a.m. and go until 6:30 p.m. And Sunday is a huge day about love. And that may or may not sound valuable to you, but I really want you to think about it, contemplate. If you were able to really double your capacity for love on, let's say, Sunday, the amount of impact that would have in your family, the amount of impact that would have in your friendships, your relationships, and really the amount of joy that you would experience above and beyond what you're already experiencing right now. Powerful, profound day on Sunday will catapult your business, will catapult your significant relationships, your family, and everything in between. And people who have attended our 3-day seminar are so profoundly impacted that we hear testimonial after testimonial after testimonial around the miraculous change they've experienced, the liberty, the freedom, the results they've created after just 2.5 days in a seminar room with us. Now you've got this information and we're willing to put our money where our mouth is. We believe so much that you too will have a life-changing, radical, incredible experience at Personal Mastery that we actually provide a money-back guarantee. If you spend 3 days with us, you attend all 3 days, and you don't find value personally or professionally, you don't get what it is you say you want in the class, you've got 30 days to request your money back. And we'll get no questions asked, 30 days, and it's 100% money-back guarantee. What do you have to lose? This honestly is the opportunity. You're investing your time. Your money is guaranteed. You can create the life-altering impact you want to see. Whatever that goal is, whatever that dream is, whatever that thing is that you began to think about that you wanted different in your life at the beginning of this video, it's possible. Not just for other people. We're promising it's going to work for you too. The tuition for Personal Mastery is $995. That's the retail price of the class. Because you're watching this video, you probably have a friend who's referred you. And if they have, they may even be willing to offer you their referral code. What that does is that actually gets you a discounted rate on the class. The question you want to be asking yourself is not how much it costs, it's how much is it worth? I'm a businesswoman. I like to see things in terms of a return on investment. For me, if you're going to invest, let's say $1,000 to be at a class, you're going to want your return on investment to be much higher than, let's say, putting your money in a bank, which is only going to earn you maybe 3%. You come to a Personal Mastery class, you pay $1,000, maybe less, to be in that room, and we are guaranteeing you a higher return on your investment. What if your return on investment wasn't just in terms of a monetary amount? What if your return on investment was actually your dream? And now you want to ask yourself, what is your dream worth to you? Because if your dream is worth more than $400 or $1,000, then wouldn't it be worth it to take the chance, take the risk on a weekend of your time and $1,000 to find out what you can create in terms of going after your dream? The other thing that you get to know is that we believe in personal mastery so much that when you purchase your ticket to Personal Mastery and you attend the 2.5-day workshop, we actually give you a lifetime tuition. And you may be like me, you might be thinking, hey, I'm pretty intelligent. I bet I'll absorb most of it the first time. The incredible thing about personal development, specifically personal mastery, is that this isn't just about absorbing information in your conscious mind. This is about you discovering sunglasses or belief systems that are working for you and not working for you. And those will actually change over time. You'll have new things to discover as you learn and grow. So that lifetime tuition, you can come back wherever we offer the class, forever for life, anywhere in the world. And what we find is that people continue to have an even more profound experience every time they attend. I know people who have actually come to 35 personal mastery courses. At this point, they're paying $10 a class to be there and just creating extreme value every single time they choose to attend. We hope that this video has provided you the information you need to make an informed choice about attending Personal Mastery. My encouragement to you is trust your friend who sent you the video and take a chance. Take a chance on you. I don't think anybody needs to go to Personal Mastery, and we truly believe as an organization, you deserve to invest in you. You deserve to spend a weekend investing in you, and we know that the value you're going to create on the other side is going to be more than worth everything you invested. In fact, I hear people tell me that all the time, that they would pay 10 times what they paid to be in a Personal Mastery room to have the kind of revelations they experienced there. So trust your friend. So take a moment to get onto our website, look at the locations and dates available where we're coming near you. We look forward to seeing you in a Personal Mastery class real soon.